My name is Szabó. I'm 18 years old and I have been struggling with acne since I was 12, which is a third of my life now. Wow. Acne is a skin condition that shows up on one's skin in the form of spots, blackheads, whiteheads, and pimples. Um, and it has different reasons. It can be hormonal, stress related, a side effect from medications, and the list goes on. My acne personally has stopped me from living my teenage years to the fullest because for a while I was too shy to leave my house. I was canceling plans with friends and just crying myself to sleep because I felt ugly and miserable for constantly comparing myself to my friends who, unlike me, had clear skin. Acne is still severely neglected today. In the age of movements of body positivity and countless campaigns to restore the broken self-confidence of young girls on social media. And in my humble opinion, we don't talk about acne enough, which reinforces the status quo where people with acne feel isolated and like no one understands their struggles. And today I'm speaking up because I want everyone with acne to know that they are not alone. And I want to offer people who can't relate a perspective that others might be too afraid to give. I have a theory that acne is not limited to the cystic extreme cases that get diagnosed as an illness and are treated by medical professionals. No, I think of acne as more like a spectrum. We have those at one end of the spectrum with clear, perfect skin and the most severe symptoms on the other end. And somewhere in between, there's a line where you realize that your acne doesn't just leave after that time of the month or a few days after you stop eating junk food. And at that point, acne starts affecting your life in ways that are not so obvious but are profoundly painful. And at that point, you are marked by your skin imperfections. Acne has several effects on us. It can be mental or physical, and disclaimer here, I am not a dermatologist or acne specialist. I'm just an 18-year-old who wants to speak up based on my and my friends' experiences and the research that I've done online. So the physical pain of acne is usually outweighed by the mental pain caused by acne, but it is also worth noting. In my life, I have had countless times when I went to a cosmetologist to get a facial. Except for people with acne, getting a facial is not glamorous but painful. I have cried multiple times at beauty salons because of the physical pain. Because as young as at the age of 13, I had to endure the pain behind your satisfying pimple popping videos that we all watch at 2 a.m. For extended periods of time. And I was simply not ready to do that, especially with the embarrassment that came with someone examining my skin very closely. Um, there are also physical implications of taking medication to remedy acne. Seemingly unrelated, acne medication can actually give you back pain, joint pain, or even vision problems. And some people take antibiotics to cure their acne, which often harms their gut health. Um, yeah, but I remember that I even asked for my birthday for these pills. I was begging my parents for years to get me on one of these acne medications, which leads me to the mental pain caused by acne. The psychosocial consequences of acne has been the topic of numerous studies, and research has shown that people with acne are less confident, less social, less likely to build new relationships or friendships, and less likely to even play sports because of the embarrassment. But they are more likely to be bullied, they are more depressed and anxious. And independent research has shown that the mental implications of having acne have a greater toll on females compared to males, even in Japan specifically. And going back to my personal experience with facials, after getting them, my skin was red and inflamed for days. And that exaggerated all the mental hardships that I was dealing with, because the next day I had to go to school and my face was red like a tomato, bleeding from tiny wounds. And I was just embarrassed to walk home that afternoon or night and meet people. But actually, a bad enough breakout one morning had the same effect, which was quite frequent and unpredictable. For years, I was wasting a lot of money because I was not taught how to care for acne-prone skin. The majority of skincare products you can get at a drugstore have ingredients that are very harmful for my skin type. And I know this because recently there have been dermatologists speaking up online about this issue and recommending their trusted products with the right ingredient list. Because the ingredients in mainstream skincare products actually dry out our skin. They have perfume that irritate our already inflamed pores and have chemicals that I can't even name that are just simply harmful. But the problem is that because we don't talk about acne, science-based expert opinion and advice doesn't get to desperate teenagers. And even if it does, products that actually work are expensive, which make them more inaccessible for the majority of teenagers. And it takes trial and error to come up with a skincare routine that fits you specifically. For years, all I cared about was clearing my skin, and I wanted to get rid of my acne at any cost. But I want to change the narrative and that type of thinking. After digging on the internet for a while, I have found communities of people just like me empowering each other. And there are activists who embrace their acne, and there are activists who embrace their acne and talk about their struggles openly. And that's when I realized that I needed to change my mindset and stop thinking of acne as a curse that needs a quick fix, and instead start living with acne and learning to coexist with it while still having a complete life. We need to stop postponing our happiness until after we have had clear skin, because life is too short to only take pictures from a distance, or airbrush them, or wear makeup every day, or just let your skin influence your self-esteem. Because life is so much more than the way your skin looks. And if you obsess over how your skin looks, it will stop you from noticing it and seeing it with your own eyes. But I'm here to tell you that we can change the narrative, and we need to. Because I don't want my children to be bullied in school because of their skin. I don't want any more teenagers feeling depressed and alone. And I certainly don't want people to fall behind or in their education because of acne, or just get unsolicited, uneducated advice from nosy strangers or relatives. We can change the narrative, and we need to. We need to put an end to this and break out of the stigma. Thank you for listening. Thank you for fighting acne every day. And thank you for being compassionate with those who are struggling with skin conditions.